Come on, Charles. That's a great shot. On the stick. On the stick. On away, baby.
Well, I don't know whether you can consider them bad breaks or not, Jerry. I 3-putted 14, which was purely my fault. The next hole, 15, I thought I hit a good tee shot. The 15th hole is kind of a dogleg right, par 5. And the corner of the water sticks out, and there's a little tree there. And I tried to knock it right over the tree, and I hit it right over the tree, but it just didn't carry. And then I made 6 there, which is really disaster when you make 6 on a par 5, playing with these guys out here because they're, you know, expect to birdie the par 5s. And the next hole, 16, I hit a bad drive that hit a tree and bounced back towards the tree, which left me a very long shot over the water. And I hit the shot right, but I just did not use the right club. It hit the top and bounced right back in the water.
As far as my play tee to green today, I think I played better. I drove the ball a little better, and on the whole, I hit my irons a little better, and I putted real well today. There's no question about it. Yesterday I holed a couple of putts that were really the kind that you never expect to hole, and I holed a bunker shot. But today I hold some good putts today, and I 2-putted from some real tough positions. So I'd have to say that my putting again was my strong suit.
Arnie, were you pleased today with the round?
Not particularly, Verne.
I heard you say something about in the same old rut again. What particularly displeased you?
Well, I was going reasonably well. I was 1 under a couple times and then let it slip away. And finished bogeying the 16th, or the 15th, the par 5. And missed a little birdie putt at the 16th and 3-putted 17 to shoot 71, which could have been 68 very easily, and that's what I meant. It gets a little annoying to finish that way.
Up until very recently, this country has had a significant technological advantage over its foreign competition. We now find ourselves in a situation where that technological advantage is no longer as obvious as it has been. We find ourselves in some industries where we have enjoyed a significant technological advantage, in fact, behind. We find ourselves in a position where the one international competitive weapon that we had is rapidly being taken away from us. Now, the point is, what policy decisions need to be made now by business, by labor, by government to recapture the initiative in foreign competition. Now, this is just one area.
I can further assure the people of this office, while I am sheriff, will never buckle under to those revolutionary groups in our community who are trying to destroy law enforcement. These elements have failed to succeed in other parts of the country, and I do not intend to give them any aid and comfort in Dallas County. Constructive criticism will always be welcomed by my office, and when found to be consistent with good law enforcement, will be placed into effect.
I, of course, in the beginning was very interested in seeing the Vietnamization program of the president succeed and de-escalate the war and get out. I wanted us to get out at a time when the South Vietnamese were able to protect themselves and to maintain the integrity of that government, but it seems to me that that the war has been, the prolongation of the war, even this administration, has gone too far. I still think they ought to end the war or get out. But the problem is you can't get out unless you end the war, because the North Vietnamese will not let you get out.
Fantastic putting. No, I did putt well, Jerry. I haven't figured out how many putts I had, but I putted very well. I didn't miss any real short putts, you know, like 4 or 5 feet, and I made several putts from 10 to 15 feet, and one long one of about 40 feet, so I putted very well.
Is putting in a fantastic form come and go? You've had it for a while, haven't you?
Well, normally I consider myself a much better than average putter. I think everybody out here gets on streaks of putting at times where they just have an overabundance of confidence. They feel like they can, you know, make any putt that's reasonable that they come up to. And whenever they do, well, they tend to score pretty well.
'68 and '69 is not a bad first 2 rounds here, Bob.
I'm enjoying them very much so far, thank you.
Describe your good moments out there today.
Well, the real good ones when you make a putt, and the bad ones are when you miss, I guess.
Well, the game is absolutely fantastic. It's just, if I can just make any putts in the next couple of days, you know. I didn't think I putted off so well today. I missed a tremendous amount of putts, I think, inside of 10 feet. Some, you know, I would say around 15 feet, which these greens are so good here that you should make some 15-footers, but I didn't like the way I putted. I had 2 birdies, 2 bogeys, and I finished with a 70 today, so it's still anybody's ball game. 36 holes to go.
The headline in the extra edition of the North Texas Daily reads, NT gets president. Calvin Nolan, former vice chancellor at Texas Christian University, was named as the university's 10th president this morning. Jitter, as he is called by his friends, was presented to the university at mid-morning ceremonies by board chairman A.M. Willis. In accepting the position, Nolan talked about the potential of North Texas.
Anyone who will look must arrive at the same conclusion that I have, and that is that North Texas State University probably has the greatest potential today for good of any university in our state and perhaps beyond. Here is a university with a strong tradition of the past, the gathered capability of the future, resting in a town with another fine institution and sitting at the apex of the most golden triangle in our great state. It would be a shame if we became anything less than one of the leaders in this state in a place known for its outstanding teaching experience.
Nolan wouldn't speculate as to his successor at Texas Christian University. It's been a long dry spell at North Texas. The office of the president has been without a master now for almost a year. But beginning August 1st, when Nolan takes over, the Board of Regents believes they have a stern taskmaster at the helm, one who isn't afraid to carry the ball and doesn't like it when he doesn't score. Jerry Park, Channel 8 News on the Move, North Texas State University, Denton.
The umbrellas have been broken out here at the Byron Nelson Golf Tournament at Preston Trail Golf Club, and Homerdale, I can barely see you from the rain that is falling on my glasses. I guess this makes you eligible for the Golden Squid Award for the second day in a row. This is a soggy Jerry Haynes from the putting green at the Byron Nelson Golf Classic.
Right now? Is it turned on? Hello, Verne. How are you? Missed you today. Saw you yesterday.
Persons of all races, creeds, and colors have registered their displeasure, and many have indicated their desire to join with us on Sunday, May 9th, and in any other subsequent action that might be taken to indicate their displeasure at the blatantly discriminatory action of the council on last Monday. Thank you.
Mr. Norman, it's been suggested by some members of the council that the threat of an impending suit was the reason they didn't vote for George Allen for Mayor Pro Tem, rather than any racial slight. Would you have a comment on that?
Well, my first reaction to that is that that is not germane to the issue here, that is a personal issue and certainly not important to the issue that we are discussing here.
But it has not yet been our fine-tooth comb. It was the comb of 40 lobbyists who met at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon. And the decision made was to effectuate concurrence. The initial decision was not made in this chamber, and that decision was not responsive to the equitable spread of the burden of taxation.
This is one of the few times that we've had to discharge our responsibility and get on with the job of funding the state operations of government and maybe concluding our business and being out of here by May the 31st. I believe we can do it. We can do it with this move. I would like to say to you that certainly I think the House-passed bill was a much better bill, but when I look at this bill and look through it, I'm quite surprised that we did receive this good a bill from the Senate.
I thought any minute I'm going to wake up and it'll all be over.
You remember the first thing you said to your husband or your husband said to you?
Yes, he asked through the intercom there in the delivery room where was his wife, was I okay? And they told me to tell him the news, and I said, well, maybe you better get him a chair. And they said, no, he'll be okay, you just tell him. And so I said, he had told me previously, said, don't you come home unless you have me 2 boys. And so I thought, well, I'll go at it this way. I said, you have your 2 boys. And I tried to be as cheerful as possible, and tears running down my eyes, though. So he said, oh, boy, good. I could hear him breathe a sigh of relief. And then I said, I've got 2 girls.